Have you ever been convinced something was wrong, only to find out later it was all in your head? The strange thing is, even when the problem isn't real, your body can still feel the symptoms as if it were. Our minds are powerful enough to create fear, pain, and even illness from nothing more than an illusion. There's an old story about a traveler who met a Roman philosopher. The philosopher, being hospitable, invited him to share a meal. As they sat together, the philosopher served a bowl of hot broth. But when the traveler looked into the cup, he froze. There, floating in the liquid, was the image of a snake. His heart raced, his stomach turned, but out of politeness, he said nothing. He forced himself to drink every last drop, pretending all was well. That night, however, his mind began to torture him. He imagined the snake inside him, poisoning his body. By midnight, his stomach ached so badly that he couldn't sleep. Panic made the pain sharper, and the fear more real. The next morning, desperate for help, he went back to the philosopher and begged for medicine. Instead of reaching for remedies, the philosopher calmly took another bowl, filled it with broth, and placed it under the same ceiling where they had eaten. And there it was again, the snake. But this time, the philosopher pointed upward. The snake wasn't in the broth at all. It was only the reflection of a snake-shaped carving on the ceiling. The moment the traveler understood the truth, his stomach pain disappeared completely. The snake had never been real, but the suffering it caused certainly was. His mind had turned an illusion into a reality so convincing that his body responded as though he were in danger. This is the hidden power of perception. Sometimes, the pain, stress, or anxiety we feel is not a direct result of reality but the story we tell ourselves about it. Ibn Sina, the great physician and philosopher, once said, "Illusion is half the disease, complacency is half the medicine, and patience is the first step to healing." In other words, what we believe has an enormous influence over how we feel and how we recover. The mind can be a faithful ally or a dangerous enemy. If it convinces us that we're broken, we may start to feel broken. If it tells us we're trapped, we may stop looking for a way out. But the opposite is also true. When the mind begins to believe in the possibility of peace, hope, and recovery, the body often follows. Maybe it's time we ask ourselves, how many snakes in our lives are nothing more than shadows and reflections? And if we learn to see through them, how much unnecessary suffering could we set down? Be prosperous and share happiness.